some people brought up education, and I definitely agree. Education should start in our schools. DOT does have a great program. Bike New York also has another great program that's free to the community, free to schools, free to any sort of organization that's a CBO and so forth. So Bike New York, if you would like for us to be in your schools, whether the children are 4 years old or 12th graders, you'll more than happily go to your auditorium for one period and teach children how to be safe in our streets, whether they're riding their bikes or otherwise. And we also do this for adults in the Bronx, because I am an adult in the Bronx who rides a bike. I'm not the only one that does that. Look at that, all those hands. These are people that ride bikes in the Bronx, and I just wanted to bring that up because the intersection of DeVoe and East Tremont came up, and every time I ride home, I know I'm going to ride through that intersection, and it's going to be a game of chicken. And someone brought up left turn lights, and I wanted to bring up that right there on DeVoe and East Tremont, because there isn't a left turn light or even paint on the ground, specifically there are 2 lanes, and both of those lanes are utilized as left turn lanes to get onto the Sheridan. So here I am on my, 20-pound bicycle weighing 110 pounds wet against these cars. And especially at night, you have lots of cars there, and let alone people trying to get to parks and so forth. And we have the Bronx, the center that's there for the Bronx River Art Center. We have the zoo, we have the train station. So it's just a location that's, of course, highly trafficked. And so I appreciate that you said that there's already something going on, and you mentioned how we want to make that safer for motorists as well as for pedestrians. But specifically, not specifically, I just also want you to keep in mind cyclists, particularly on our arterial streets. Someone mentioned Boston Road. I live on Boston Road. I know all about how that's a highway. But using bike lanes so that it can be a measure to slow traffic down, as you mentioned, sorry, I don't remember your name, but when the streets are wider, people more often speed. But when you use a bike lane, not necessarily to take away a car lane, because Boston Road is amply wide, you put a bike lane there, it brings down the size of a car lane, and people are more conscious of how they're driving,